Sports with your host Jay Pops. Guys, we're back, man. We're back. I apologize for being gone for about a good week, but I'm back. I'm back. Howdy to all of you guys, and I thank all of you for tuning in and sticking around. On this latest edition of the Homemade Podcast of Sports, guys, let's talk about who will win the first national title for Texas A&M football. What do you mean by that, Jay? What do you mean by that? This is what I mean by it. Who will be the first class to put all of the pieces together? Who will be the first quarterback to put all of the pieces together? Who will be the first wide receiver group to put all of the pieces together? Who will be the first team to put all the pieces together? Is it the 2022 team that's coming in? Is it the 2023 team that's coming? Or is it the 2024? Or et cetera, et cetera. Who will grab it first? These are the things we need to know. Because I can tell you one thing. After a conversation that I had with one of my fellow Aggie brothers on yesterday, Mr. Brandon, if you're listening, we had a hell of a conversation. I had a hell of a conversation with Mr. Henry Green, in which his son is moving on to the NFL. You know, had a hell of a conversation with my dear old Aggie friend, Mr. Morris Carter. My dear old Aggie friend, Nate Brinkley. You know, Miss Michelle Hoffman that runs one of the Aggie sports groups on Facebook. You know, Aggie Athletics to be exact. You guys go and check that out. We have had many discussions. We've had a lot, guys. It's a lot of people that has reached out to get my take, but also tell me about their take. Because we want to know. But with all of that going on in the background, because football season hasn't gotten here yet, the spring game, just to let everyone know if you did not, the spring game, okay, for 2022, people, will be April 9th at 1 p.m. Just exactly the same time as it really always is. Once again, the spring game for Texas A&M will be April 9th, 2022. The spring game for Georgia, in which, hold on, before I keep going forward, I will not be at the spring game. I will not. I honestly kept saying I would be there. I will not be at the spring game, guys. That's my apologies on that. But my son's birthday weekend is that weekend. So if for anything, I will watch that and then, you know, go along to my son's party, you know, that we're going to have for him and stuff like that. But I do have a birthday to attend, and it's one of my sons, in which I would not move this in front of none of my kids' birthday, nor my wife's birthday, you know, if that matter. All right. So I won't be able to get out there with you guys, but I will be at the Miami game. I've been pricing tickets like crazy. So, hey, if you guys have any tickets to spare that, you know, hey, you can maybe sell or something like that, I would be interested. But I will be at the Miami football game with my two sons attached to my hip, okay? Because my wife is not going to let me leave by myself this go around. I will be at the Miami game, once again, my son's attached to my hip, and we will sit down and we will watch the hell of a ball game, all right? So, with that being said, guys, so I see old Pete O'Neal is in here. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to Pete O'Neal. So Pete O'Neal, Mr. Brandon, and who I was talking about, one of my dear old Aggie brothers, as well as Mr. Pete O'Neal, one of my dear old Aggie brothers. And also, man, my boy E. Crenshaw, that's out there in South Carolina. One of my dear Aggie friends, Mr. Jonathan Simmons. That's another one as well. Oh, and Mr. Morris Carter. All of these guys have played an exceptional role to this podcast. Do you hear what I'm saying? All of these guys remember when I was outside on my front porch recording my first ever podcast. Okay? So that's very, very special to me. A lot of these guys, just as well as a lot of you all as well, y'all have seen this podcast grow. And it's going to continue to grow because Texas A&M is continuing to put the brand out there. They're continuing to do it. Football-wise, especially. Baseball is just getting ramped up. So when I say you guys hadn't seen nothing yet, you guys hadn't seen anything yet. We haven't gotten fully off the ground because basketball, I'm going to say just a brief statement about them in just a minute, but they haven't even much gotten off the ground yet. They haven't, but the brand is out there, people. People know who Texas A&M is. They know who Texas A&M is, regardless to what Steve Sarkisian in Texas is talking about. Talking about that's the premier program in the state. No, it's not. Stop it. You know, but you know the brand is getting out there when we have two cornerbacks in the state of Alabama, in which I'm hearing that the state of Alabama is stacked this year with talent, people. Listen to me now. I'm hearing the state of Alabama is for surely stacked this year, and it's the most stacked it's been since in 25 years, is what I'm hearing. They got a lot of talent coming from out of there. One specifically, but two, to be exact. One specifically, though, is Tony Mitchell. Tony Mitchell loves some Texas A&M, but he's an Alabama native, you know? So keep your eye out on Mr. Five-star cornerback, Tony Mitchell. Tony Mitchell, if you're listening, we want you, young man. We want you. You hear me? We want you. But it's another one out there, too. I believe he's another cornerback or a defensive line. Yes, but the state of Alabama is stacked this year. And A&M will come in there this year and make a statement and send that out to all the recruits in Alabama. Okay? Because we're coming into your state as well. And we're going to repay the favor that you guys have been repaying to us for over a decade. Okay? We're coming to take your top 1, 2, 3 player, just like you've been taking our top 1, 2, 3 player. Oh, yeah, man, it's on. It's on. So people might not want to believe me on this, but Alabama and Texas A&M does not like each other, people. We do not. We do not. Alabama and Auburn definitely do not. Auburn and Texas A&M definitely don't like each other. We don't like Arkansas. Arkansas don't like us. It is what it is. You know, we will get our payback this year, Arkansas fans. If you're listening, we will get our payback this year. You know, but anywho, guys. So, will Texas University beat Bama this year? This is what somebody's asking me. No, they will not. No, they won't. Quinn Ewers can be the best player on that team all day long, as well as Xavier Worthy, in which that young man is a first-round wide receiver. But they will not beat Texas this year. And a lot of people going to come on here and, how you going to A&M beat them? So why we can't beat them? Well, because you're not A&M. A&M has been playing them for over a decade now, and we have been playing the same coach, but different coaches on the coaching staff. So we knew what we had to do. We sent out a message to them, and they understood the message, and we delivered. Okay? That's the difference. So, also, we got better talent than you. I mean, it is what it is. But no, they will not. No, they will not beat Alabama. They will not. Now, I'm not going to say that's going to be a blowout game, but I will say it will be a good little contest for the first 3 quarters. In the fourth quarter, you're going to see Alabama just go on an unbelievable run, and you're going to be like, God, dog. It's going to be like that. Why? Because the Texas defense is not there yet. Okay, you have to give it some time. I mean, that's just what it is. That is just what it is. You got to give it some time. Please believe me, guys. There is some Texas fans in this podcast. They do come in here every now and then. I see somebody comment talking about Texas football team is too young to give Bama any trouble. Their best players are underclassmen. That is very true. They're way too young, and Bama is coming with SEC speed. Okay, that is a big difference between Big 12 speed and SEC speed. They run a whole lot faster, a lot faster. They're coming at you, and I've seen this in person. The SEC is undoubtedly one of the fastest leagues in all of college football. So if you do not adjust within a certain time period, you will get your behind drugged your first year. Okay, so what about all other sports that's going around the Texas A&M community? So our basketball team, man, with Buzz Williams, and I love Tex Ags, man. I love Tex Ags. It's a lot of people that can say they don't like Tex Ags, but they listen to him every morning. I'm not one of those guys. I love Tex Ags. That's been my podcast ever since Mr. Morris Carter turned me on to those guys, and I have been hooked ever since. And this has been for a couple of years now. Okay, so I was a subscriber at first, but I'm not a subscriber due to the simple fact of that I just have my Apple podcast, so I can just download the episodes. So it's no reason for me to be a subscriber, and plus I don't be up that late. I mean, I don't be up that early. So you know what I mean? It makes no sense. But anywho, this here, because I am a subscriber to 247 Sports, and I'm all thing Texas A&M. So the basketball team, man, with Buzz. This basketball team this year is very, very confusing. I have no clue of what's actually going on with our basketball team at all. I am just like you guys. I'm very, very speechless to what's going on because we are on a 8-game losing streak, if I'm not mistaken. And that's the longest losing streak I've seen so far ever since I've been watching Texas A&M basketball. Now, I do understand that there's been way worse seasons than this, but for the simple fact that we were 15-2, and I was one of the ones saying, hey, man, rank us, goddamn, rank us. But, I mean, it just looks like it's just falling apart. It looks like it's just completely falling apart. And yes, if this was football, I would give out the same criticism as well. So please don't come and tell me, oh, if you weren't saying that if it was football, I would give out the same criticism. I love all sports equally, okay? But we have to do something about this. I'm not calling for Buzz Williams' head. No, I will not do that. And anybody who's doing that, you need to stop it. You need to stop, okay? We have to continue to give him a little bit of time to do what he have to do. But also, this is what I would like to see. Recruiting. Take a notch up. I would like to see recruiting take a notch up. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, man, it's really, really hard to recruit basketball players to Texas A&M. Okay, so tell me this. Did Auburn say the same thing? Did Auburn say the same thing when they had a run just like they are now? And if I'm not mistaken, and let me see if I'm for surely right about this, because I can pull up the basketball recruiting rankings. Let me go ahead and go to this, and let me see where we are with so far as basketball recruiting. Because our team rankings as of right now, we're in the 80s, okay? And that's just unbelievable to me. I do not like it one bit. So this is where Auburn sits. Auburn sits at like 2 commitments. So I guess I can't talk that much about us when Auburn isn't doing anything. But we have about 3 commitments, and we're still in like the 81st category. All right, the only one that's all the way up top is Arkansas. And that's crazy to me that Arkansas, I don't even much think they're ranked at the moment, and their record is better than our record. But Arkansas has the number 2 recruiting class as of right now, so far as basketball is concerned. Arkansas is number 2, and I'm just naming a couple of guys. Guess who is number 3? And this is unbelievable to me. And look, I don't know if they throwing out the 15 because basketball isn't all that much. That's like football. But Alabama has to be throwing out 15 million. You know, they have to, or at least 10 million, because Alabama right now, basketball recruiting class is number 3 in the country. So I'm scratching my head trying to figure out, so why is Alabama all the way up there? When, I mean, yeah, we seen Alabama go on a little run, last year, and I believe they won the SEC last year, if I'm not mistaken. But they have 2 5-stars, 2 4-stars, One 3-star. What are they doing that's attracting basketball players that A&M isn't doing? Attracting basketball players, because from my understanding, I don't believe Alabama has a national title in basketball. Do they? Somebody has to come on here and correct me if I'm wrong. I do not know all of the history on that because I'm not a diehard basketball fan. But if Alabama can recruit at that level, Texas A&M can do the same. It's no excuses at all. It's none at all. All of that, oh man, it's too hard to recruit. No, it's not. No, it's not. That is a full-blown lie. That's a full-blown lie. So if I'm going through these recruiting rankings, right, Auburn sits at number 38, and I think they're the number 2 team in the country right now. This is where A&M sits at, and I have to pull up the load more screen. This is what really, really frustrates me. And I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, well, man, that's just how Buzz Williams is, man. He don't, want the one in." Okay, so we was 84. I mean, we was 81st, but now we're at 84. You have to pull the recruiting up. That's where it starts at with any sport. I do not care what sport you play. Recruiting is first. You have to recruit talent. If you do not recruit talent and you just call yourself want to go in a transfer portal and et cetera, you will not get far like that. All right. I don't even much believe that Virginia had a class like they had when they won the national title, man, if I'm not mistaken. But I can tell you this here. As of right now, since Buzz Williams is gone, Virginia Tech is at number 30. You know, when Buzz isn't even there anymore. And I can't find Virginia in here anywhere. No, Virginia is at number 10 recruiting. Number 10. So once again, man, there's no excuses to how we're looking right now. A lot of people keep on telling me that, well, man, the team hadn't been all together that long. Man, come on, man. We got to quit this. So I said what I said, and I'm going to keep moving along from that, okay? That's about all I have to say for the basketball team. The women's basketball team, they lost on Sunday as well, but I can honestly say that the referees, y'all have to do a better job than that. They have to do a better job than that, man. They have to do a better job than that. That makes no sense for them to call all them calls like they had, in which they did. Okay, so somebody's telling me Bama has 8 Sweet 16 appearances compared to Texas A&M. Okay, so I guess that's why they have the number 3 class. Yeah, I guess so. And they have the coach. So, I mean, man, it is what it is. That's at this point. But A&M had to start pulling out some games they're not supposed to pull out. That is the only way that this is going to rewrite the script. And we just have to learn how to close out games. We got to learn how to, we got to learn how to make layups. We can't make a layup now. We can't shoot a 3 now. I mean, it's just all kind of things going wrong, man. It's like, wow, like, golly. And it makes it very hard for us fans to watch because we want this team to do so good. And we know they can do good. Man, they just got to put it all together. They have to. They have to put it all together. But anywho, man, let's move along from that and let's continue to go here, okay? So that was all about the basketball. Like I say, the women's basketball team, they did lose on Sunday to a ranked LSU team that, excuse me, but they did lose to a ranked LSU team that's very, very good and has a national championship winning coach. The same as Gary Belair. So those were two legends going at it with one another, and it's just one legend got the best of another, and hey, it is what it is. But the referees, they have to do better than this going forward, but it is what it is. We lost and we'll keep moving. I'm not necessarily worried about the women's because I know the women's can make a potential Sweet 16 run, believe that or not, but we have seen the women's team do it before. Regardless of when the last time they won a national title, but we have seen the women's team go last year all the way to the Final Four. I'm not worried about the women's. I'm sorry. I believe that the women will take care of themselves. However, the men's, I'm very concerned about those guys because we just can't put anything together that's working at the moment. That concerns me for the long run, but I know we have to give him time. Okay? So that's all we can say on that one. So let's talk about a little bit of this recruiting. This is the latest on five-star defensive lineman Labius Overton as visits near. I know a lot of you all out there that's diehard football fans, just like me. You guys want to know about these things. You want to hear about it because Labian Overton, as of right now, he still not him, but A&M is still the clear favorite to land him, but not only him, because as of right now, his brother has now entered the chat. And Labius wants a package deal. He wants to play with his younger brother. The other guy, his older brother, what's his name? Mika Overton. Or it's either Mika or Micaiah Overton. He wants to play with Labius as well. The only problem with that, the only problem that I see is this here. Both of those guys will not get on the field as starters together. Okay? Now they can look, I did not know this, but then again I did. I just wanted to see if I was correct about it. We can have up to 32 players because of what happened last year with the COVID and it's COVID exemption and I think the transfer, and you can have at least one more commitment or something like that. So if we take both of them, that's fine. But this defensive line, oh my goodness, that is a brick wall, and whomever gets injured, in which I really hope they don't, the spot will be filled so quick to where you have not ever seen a team fill a spot that darn quick. Now, regardless to their talent, they have to get on there, they have to get on the field, and they have to perform. Okay, so you can have all the 5 stars in the world you want all day long, but if you don't perform, then you will look like an unranked player, to be exact, stuff like that. But this is the latest. Texas A&M signed the nation's highest ranking class in history of recruiting rankings when the Aggies added 5-star defensive lineman Shamar Stewart and national top 50 safety Jacoby Matthews on February signing day. The Aggies might not be done yet, though, as they are looking to add to their historic haul. Just after signing day, five-star Alpharetta, Georgia, Milton, defensive lineman Labius Overton announced he was reclassifying to 2022 from 2023. And he has Texas A&M in his top 5, along with Georgia, Ohio State, Oklahoma, and Oregon. Okay? Overton will be officially visiting Aggieland soon, but there is also a new wrinkle in his recruitment as his older brother, Liberty defensive lineman Micaiah Overton, has entered the NCAA transfer portal, and the two have said they would like to end up at the same place. Okay, so this is what they say. We have the latest on where things stand with the 5-star defender and the recruitment of brothers on the VIP junction board. So let me get on the junction board, talk a little bit about this. This is Brian Peroni that made this statement here. So this is what he said. Need you guys to listen, because I need you guys to keep updating yourself with guys that's coming in, because we could potentially see more and more and more. This is just more talent being added. This one is going to be interesting to follow over the next month or two. I've done some digging today, and nobody is honestly sure exactly what is going to happen with the 5-star defensive lineman who reclassified recently from 2023 to 2022. As a 2022 prospect, he can begin taking official visits on March 1st, and his plan is to take several. He has not set them up with exact dates yet, but A&M, Oklahoma, and Oregon will get them in March. Georgia and Ohio State are the other 2 contenders. Neither the news about Overton reclassifying or about his older brother, Liberty defensive lineman Micaiah Overton, entering the transfer portal was a surprise to A&M or any of the other schools. But it is the latter that could make things interesting. LT and Micaiah would prefer to play with each other. Oklahoma and Oregon have offered the older brother since he entered the portal. The other three finalists have yet to do so. So we're just hanging back in the wings, and them hasn't offered them. Ohio State nor Georgia. We're just kind of sitting back because we're kind of like the premier programs for the defensive linemen nowadays. So, okay, we will see how this goes. And it's not clear yet if they will. However, even with the knowledge about Mika transferring soon being out there, most still predicted A&M when LT announced his reclassification. Okay, but this one is not a done deal. He really likes A&M. In the weekend, he was in town just before the dead period. Helped even more as he and his family were fans of DJ Durkin. But if A&M decides to offer Mika with the defensive line numbers on the roster skewed a bit due to the last two classes, things are up in the air some. It's not a guarantee that the two brothers will end up in the same place, and A&M is not sure yet on whether to offer or not. There are still 2 spots left in the class as A&M has 29 signees and 1 transfer so far. So there's technically room for both. This is what I told many of you guys before. So there's technically room for both, but it would take out the possibility of taking any other transfers unless Jaden Scarlett does not qualify if the Aggies take both brothers. So all that to say, there is still no definitive answer on him. I would expect a decision in April. The signing period ends on April 1st. So if he does not sign by then, he would not be locked into his choice until he shows up for class this summer. I'm not ready to put a crystal ball prediction in as there are still a bunch of moving parts. But I do like A&M chances. Okay? If forced to put one in, I would do for the Aggies. So that's just to let you guys know out there. That's the latest on 5-star defensive lineman Lavius Overton and his brother, to be exact. Just to let you guys know on a couple of more things inside 5-star linebacker Anthony Hill's top 6 schools. These are his top 6 schools here. Just to let you all know. I know you guys be on Twitter, but I'm just keeping you guys updated, okay? So these are his 6 schools. So, school number 1 is Alabama. School number 2 is Miami. School number 3 is Oklahoma. Number 4 is Texas. Number 5 is Texas A&M. And number 6 is USC. Okay? This guy here, he is from, of course, this is a Texas native. Okay? And he is from, I want to let you guys know where he's from. He's from Den Ryan. That's where he's from. I could not remember the name for whatever reason. It couldn't come off the top of my head. So he's from Den Ryan, Texas. You guys are very familiar with this school. If you all live in Texas, we already know these places. Den Ryan is a premier program for high school football players in the state of Texas. All right, that is a real big school. It has a real big football program that is known pretty much nationally, I believe. So that's not nothing new there. So this is what you guys need to know. So this is why I came up with the question of who will win the first national title for Texas A&M football. Now we get down to the nitty-gritty. Will it be Haynes King that leads this team to a national title and win it all? Will it be Max Johnson that leads this team to a national title and win it all? Will it be Connor Wingman that leads this team to a national title and win it all? Or will it be because of the defensive line that we're bringing in that leads this team to an undeniable run? The defensive line is what you guys need to really pay attention to for the next 4 years. I'm going to say it again, for the next 4 years. Because a lot of these guys didn't leave after 2 years. Some may transfer, which is already sought out to be. But I can tell you this here. Most of those guys in this class that's coming in 2022 Hall, I will bet you money that not a single soul in this 2022 class transfers out. I will bet you a money that this defensive line class will be the reason to why we make a national title run. I will bet you dollars that Haynes King will be the first one to win us a national title. I will bet you money on that. We won before, but it's been since 1939. Yeah, it's been since 1939. I know that. I will bet you money that this wide receiver core now, they're going to be unstoppable. They're going to be unstoppable. So this is the reason to why I said I believe that Haynes King and the team he has now will make a national title pushing run. And they may just make that this year. As of right now, with the bold predictions, which is way too early bold predictions, they already have Texas A&M against Oklahoma State University in the New Year's Six Bowl. So they're already saying that A&M is a New Year's Six Bowl team. That's no doubt about it. They are a New Year's Six Bowl team, and they shouldn't be nowhere near under a New Year's Six Bowl, period. Ohio State is already put in a playoff appearance. Georgia is already put in a playoff appearance. Okay, Captain Gaming can't listen because I'm in class, but gives them. Okay, I got you. Hey, make sure you complete your work. But Ohio State is already in there. Alabama, of course, is already in there. And the fourth team they had, I cannot think of the fourth team they had for whatever reason. It's still not coming to mind. So I said Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, and Clemson. Just like I said, I told you guys that Clemson was going to come back. One of those four teams ain't going to make it. I know the one who's not going to make it. Because they have to play A&M just like A&M has to play them. It's Alabama. A lot of Alabama fans, they're going to come on here and they're going to squat on me for saying that. Man, what you talking about, man? We still run the SEC. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. I don't have no problem with you saying that. Make no doubt about it, though. The SEC West will be won by Texas A&M this year. Now, whether or not we make it to a national title, that's yet to be decided. But the SEC West will be won by Texas A&M this year. You can mark my words on that. You can bet me money on it. I'm confident with what I'm telling you. I told you last year we were going to beat Alabama, and we did. Not knowing that we were going to lose a couple more games after that, though. Not knowing we were going to lose the Mississippi State game. No Arkansas. So these are the three games to watch for this year in general. For that statement to be true. These are the games I'm telling you to watch. Because they're going to make a statement in these three games here. It's the game number one. It's going to be the Arkansas Razorbacks when we play them at Jerry World. Game number two is going to be the Alabama Crimson Tide when we play them in Tuscaloosa. And game number three, a lot of you guys have already made your predictions on what game number three I'm going to say. Y'all think it's Ole Miss, right? A lot of you guys think it's Ole Miss. Well, guess what? It ain't them. It's the Auburn Tigers. I'm going to say it once again. It's the Auburn Tigers. Those three games will decide the fate of what direction A&M is going to go in so far as for the remainder of the season. Okay? The first game that's going to make some noise in which the whole world will be watching is the Miami game. Everybody wants to see that game. And I would tell you this here. If I know Jimbo Fisher and if I know Terry Price and Elijah Robinson like I know them, and I think it's Terry Santucci, and as well as the cornerbacks coach, things of those guys. But if I know these defensive line coaches like I know them, you can bet your bubble that they're going to start Shamar Stewart in that game with pure confidence. You can bet your bubble that Mario Cristobal is going to try to run at Shamar Stewart every chance he gets. But because of the simple fact of that, they're going to try to run at him, not knowing that Shamar got some help. Understand that this defensive line and this defense overall period is going to be better than last year's defense. Why? Because last year's defense set the standard now. This is the standard. This standard for defense going forward. Top 25 or bust. I'm going to say it again. Top 25 or bust. The offense are the guys that will lag. You can bet your bubble this year, this will be a top 25 offense. So we're about to have a balanced team in which, if you guys know Jimbo Fisher like I know Jimbo Fisher, you remember them Florida State days? Jimbo Fisher had a balanced team. Top 25 in offense, top 25 in defense. He doesn't play that, man. He doesn't play that. It no just one man move and the other one stay behind. No, we need both of them to be rolling at the same time. So understand what I'm saying. If this year we have a top 25 offense and a top 25 defense together, that's a national title run for me. That is a national title run for me, or that is a New Year's Six run for me, and this is an 11-1 team. I'm going to say it again. This is an 11-1 team. I'm not worried about those Mississippi schools. I'm not. Because I know that they'll come out and they'll get the job done against these Mississippi schools this year. All right? They will. I'm not worried about Haynes King starting at quarterback, because understand that Haynes King got some help. Understand that from what I'm hearing, Haynes King is faster than he was last year. So he can not only throw, and you guys can dismiss me with that, oh, well, man, I don't know about the Haynes King. Stop it already. Because you guys were the same ones that was preaching for Haynes King to get on the field. Now he's on the field. He got hurt. You seen the first game, and all of a sudden you think that's going to be Haynes King going forward. Stop that. You guys just want to see Connor Wingman because it's new talent. So stop it. And you guys want to see Max Johnson because, quote unquote, he has more experience in the SEC. So what? I still got Haynes King over Max Johnson because he knows this team. It ain't about the experience. It's about, do you know your team? Haynes King knows his team. He knows where everybody's going to be at. This is the reason to why I wanted Evan Stewart here. And we got him. This is the reason to why I wanted Denver Harris here. And we got him. This is the reason to why I wanted Damon Demas to be in the starting lineup in 2022. And that's going to happen. This is the reason to why I wanted Anaya Smith to come back out of all of the wide receivers. That's going to happen. The only question is, what is Ezekiel Jones going to do? And what is Caleb Chapman going to do? Because all of those guys are experienced. If those guys get on the field and they show their experience, once again, man, this is a national title run. There's no cornerbacks in the SEC that can tell me that they can stop all of those guys that are very experienced like that. They're experienced, man. Alabama is coming back with no legitimate experience at the wide receiver position. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. All of those guys that went to the NFL. Slade Bolden, gone. Jamison Williams, gone. John Mechie, gone. So who are you looking at on Alabama to tell me that they're going to make an impact? They don't have a lick of experience at the wide receiver. See, this is what I'm talking about. But it's Alabama, and I understand that. But this is Texas A&M, and they got experience. So, yeah, it's no excuse. It's no excuses at all. We just signed number one recruiting class. They will play a part in this season. Also, Baylor Cup. Stop sleeping on Baylor, please. Don't come and ask me any more questions about Baylor Cup. Oh, well, we ain't seen him, so how you know he gonna do something? Because I know. Because I just know. Watch him. Don't only watch him, though. Watch out for Jake Johnson. Not only him, though. Watch out for Theodore Ostrom. Not only him, though. Watch out for Donovan Green. Bobby Taylor on defense. Jacoby Matthews. Do you want me to keep going? These are all the freshmen. Do you want me to keep going? Jalen Jones. I believe that he'll move back to safety. And if he moves back to safety, he's going to look like every bit of a 5-star that you've seen. Tyreek Chappelle. Didn't he get freshman of the year? What, didn't he get a freshman all-SEC? What are you guys not understanding here? Miles Jones, he ain't going nowhere. He's a veteran. Denver Harris, you know he's going to get a start, right? Oh, they going to put him out there. They're going to put him out there. And he's going to show what he can do. And they're going to try to attack him because he's a freshman. You should try to attack him. But he's going to live up to the hype. You know, so a lot of these guys come in, they're going to live up to the hype. Demani Richardson, he ain't going nowhere. It's too many to choose from. The only position that I'm worried about on defense is the linebacker position, but I believe that Edrin Cooper will hold that down. That's just what it is. So be looking for this defense to do a tremendous rotation. And I know the team that's going to try to stop that rotation. It's going to be Alabama, it's going to be Arkansas, and it's going to be Ole Miss. They're going to try to stop that rotation like crazy. That's fine. We're ready for it. But be ready for this here, and this is going to be the first time ever. You're going to see a full rotation on offense in a wide receiver core in which you've never ever seen before. You're going to see wide receivers come on the field fresh like you have never ever seen before. I'm going to say that once again. You are going to see this wide receiver core rotate like crazy. And you're going to be like, God, dog, never seen that before. Listen to what I'm saying. You know, so just stay tuned in. I will be back on tomorrow. I love all of you guys. #GigaMax.